Hello student, I'm Dr. Pamita Basu from Key Art and Design. Today we have come to UID NCR and I am with two professors of animation department, Professor Akash Deep and Professor Prakash Murthy. So we'll talk first from Prakash Murthy. Sir, please give your introduction to our students.
Yeah, my name is Prakash Murthy. I belong to Trivandrum. I am a graduate from NID and from MS University of Baroda. I graduated in animation film design from NID long ago, which is somewhere around. I graduated in 1990. Since been working in the industry as well as teaching as a visiting faculty at many places. I also was heading animation department at Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute. And since then, I've been teaching as an adjunct at UID. I joined just before the pandemic set in, but then I did not continue afterwards because I live in Trivandrum and it was too much to kind of organize life like that while the pandemic was on. So I went back to Trivandrum and then joined back at an NCR campus 5 months ago. So that's my story here. Yeah.
Sir, please, Akash Deep sir, you can also give the introduction.
Okay. Hello, I am Akash Deep Sonkar. I belong from Uttar Pradesh, Kanpur, and yes, I being in creative field. As my father was also a creative designer. I have done engineering in electronics and communication, I think by luck. And then my professor was guided me about the design because of I used to work on sketching and stuff. So I did a master's in NID and graduated in 2017. Then I moved back to Kanpur. I did some freelances. Then I joined e-learning company called 19 Wise Private Limited. And I was production head over there. It is situated in Jammu Kashmir. And then I moved back to Ahmedabad and joined as an assistant professor in GLS University. And then I'm here in UID NCR campus.
Okay. So, sir, Professor Murthy, I just wanted to know about the full environment of in NCR, about the animation department, how it is and how many equipments are there, and what are the students doing, how they are doing, and what type of software they are learning.
Yeah, I've been teaching at NID, at SRFTI, then Srishti and all these places, and the kind of exposure the students are getting here is nice in the sense that the studios are very well equipped, and also there is a ease in the campus in a sense that students can walk into workshops, students without, it's almost like one campus, one roof under which all disciplines of design are there. So in that sense, it's great for animation students to kind of engage in. And also the point of interest is animation is taking very massive shifts in the industry. It's not just at one point where we were coming from. Animation was just as a form of advertising or communication design, or at times part of cinema, as in movie industry. It's no longer that. Now you have students learning animation but ending up as game designers, as virtual reality designers, or people who are getting into museum design, virtual museum design. So we are at a point in which there is a certain kind of explosive nature to animation learning. So it is the courses in UID, essentially in NCR as well as the Gandhinagar campus, is it's focused on conceptual learning in the sense that it's more to do with how you devise the designs. And you asked about software. There is enough software, in place in the institute. But as we speak, the kind of software and the kind of methods or the tools are all changing. There was a point in which you took about 6 months to learn a software. It's no longer so. You switch open your machine and the software is there to teach you. So it's a great thing, but it's also a very interesting and kind of difficult thing for students or teachers as well, to kind of align in which the technological world is charging ahead. So it's interesting and both for the students as well as people who are engaged in teaching. And from my point of view, I also practice. I also work as animation consultant for organizations. I work in films. So whatever I learn from my professional space, I get a space to teach, which is important. So whatever new things that I learn in the industry, which is remarkable at this point in time, because you are engaged in making projects using a lot of tools which are on the offspring, I mean, it's just moving in, and so you get to kind of prepare the students for what is laying ahead for them. So I think for students, this is a nice place to learn design, and also a nice time to get design learning.
I just want to know, how are you preparing students? Are they doing drawing also, and or they're doing 2D design or 3D animation? What is the main thing like they are actually doing? Because there are many questions about that.
Yes.
What type of animation they're learning, 2D or 3D? Because some places, specifically NID, they're all teaching 2D. I think no. The 3D is not so much.
Ideally, it's time that animation is taught as animation, not as 2D and 3D, because things have merged. And that's why I was talking about this. The flux that is happening in the industry is that there was a point in which you knew this was 3D, and you knew it was 2D. But no longer does it work. You generate, construct images in 3D platform, but render it as 2D. I mean, these things so people are actually, the market is actually looking at conceptual stuff, things that make you think or enjoy in another kind of way. Yeah.
I think the main base is visualization or sketching. If I can make a student like visualize more and make their concept in analog form, then they will capable to articulate that analog form into 3D. 3D is a medium. That our planning is making student understand about how to sketch, how to visualize. Yeah. So that is what we plan, how student will articulate the 2D medium into 3D. And 3D is the software based thing. So that will happen.
So are you telling the students to work in original, thoughts, original theme? Because like I am also, my father is a cartoonist and has done 2D animations, and just now he has released an animation book also in Hindi from government. So that's why I know a lot of things from childhood. I know that what animation is and how animation goes about, and it is all about originality also.
Yes.
So what is your thought about like the students who are coming to this institute, college, they need originality because to compete with AI and everything, because nowadays AI is also a problem, everybody think. But I feel it is not a problem. It is a boon. All the students asking me the same thing, it is a problem or not. So what is your thought about all the originality and AI and everything? What is going on right now and what is the animation in future? What is the, what type of thing a student should know, and what will the student, when the student goes out in the, a market, what the student should have? And so are you teaching that in the campus?
Yeah, and the essential thing is there was a time when we had to generate students or equip them to handle stuff in the industry. That was the thing on those days. But now as technology has advanced, and also the viewership, we cannot ignore the internet. You get to see all kinds of stuff, all kinds of original stuff. So to be in a position to equip the students to follow an industry is kind of low right now. You need to equip the students to lead the industry. You have to walk in there and lead the industry. So what actually you want the students to be is to have a very solid worldview, what's happening around the world, and also equip them to methods of bringing out their creativity. So you make students who are inventive in their work. So that's what we are looking at. And I think the world over, the design institutes and film institutes and everywhere, they are looking at it. It's no longer that industry is there and you make students to go and follow them. Yeah, it's another way around. So I think that's what we here are trying to do. And it's also interesting because the students also come with a certain kind of talent. And as teachers, we kind of channel them towards, portals where they can excel. So it's not just teaching in the conventional sense. It is, of course, teaching, but also mentoring the students into areas where they can excel or invent new things. So that's how we deal. Yeah.
What is your overview about AI? The student is getting, actually the parents are getting more tense. They think, अब आ गया AI आ गया, अब now there is no job because AI is.
I think if a student have his originality, AI would not replace it. Then originality comes when student visualize or sketch, right? So if a student have that much of power or potential, AI would not replace them.
Basically, originality is very important.
Originality is very important.
Yeah. So, because I am right now, seeing students like everywhere, like, if many student comes and see me also when I'm making the student for preparing for the entrance preparation for portfolio, and so whatever, like, I say this you want to have to do. They just go to the Google it and then take out, and I have to I said nahi ye to copy ho raha hai. And they kaise, and that a problem is that they don't want to think, because from the childhood whatever the teacher will also say Google it. So that to take out the students from that, no, you have to use your brain. It is actually becoming a little difficult.
Yes.
And that is to my student, I always tell them that go for originality, because that will only give you work, not that you are copying from somewhere. So this actually a problem which I am also facing. I think you are also facing. Everybody in our time, we didn't had so much Google net
Yes,
and
yes,
all that. So we used to think, and now also, if I get something, I can in connect with the work to and make new work. But if I tell them, they just want to do research, let us research, and in research they will take out something. So they are not thinking, and that is a very big problem, I feel, in right now in the whatever the students are coming. Do you also face get the same problem in among the students, current students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in a way, but we also have to see the whole thing in a kind of a different perspective. I mean, there is a different perspective, of course. So when we were students, I mean, this was in the last century or something. So when we were students, we had libraries. We had the good opportunity to be in MS University of Baroda, National Institute of Design. So we could use those things, we were privileged. But now it's democratic in the sense that the knowledge is for everyone. You can pick up.
Google it.
Yeah, Google it.
One button away.
Yeah, or visit university sites and actually get really good information. That's very democratic in that sense. But Google is an easy way out. But it's only a question of students who will soon realize in their journey as a student that there is something more to it.
Yeah.
And about artificial intelligence, essentially it is artificial. So you don't need to cry for that. It's artificial generally. And it works on data that has been fed to it.
Already there.
So essentially what it does is, if you tell it to create an image looks like Vincent van Gogh's trees, sit with Picasso's background, it will do because it knows.
Yeah.
So, but actually it'll be really tough and scary if artificial intelligence produces poetry that is surpassing Shakespeare or any of these guys. Then there is some room for getting frightened. I don't think that is.
But then also to run the artificial intelligence, a human should.
Yeah, that's why it's a data fed thing.
Yeah.
But the mathematics involved in structuring information is also improving. So probably maybe in another 15, 20 years, we will have really effective things that, will do stuff that if we do, we might make mistakes. Like things like, it's already happening, air traffic control, much of it is done by artificial intelligence now, because, human mind might make mistakes. So it's, in that sense, it's good. Underwater exploration and all is good. Space. So we now know that, Webb Space Telescope has figured out, the age of the Big Bang is earlier. It's not 13.8 billion years ago. It's further than that. So all that calculations and, those, it's an interesting thing to have a machine do it. But to come and think of taking this artificial intelligence and to think that it's going to take over the creative field, it's a bit far-fetched as of now. There are scriptwriters who use ChatGPT to engage or evolve script writing stuff. Even animation writers have, but then it goes back to the same old language. And
nowadays, like I'm sending abroad also. So the students who are going, one of the students, I told her to write SOP. She wrote with ChatGPT. And we checked, and it came out that it was used. So then again I told her no. So because you cannot send ChatGPT or Pinterest work to a college.
No.
So then I have to check it myself, or so that it doesn't go there. Otherwise you will be cancelled. So it's more difficult to get admission if you are doing copy work. So that happens for abroad study. So we have to be very careful while doing it. So this, right now also, when a student give me a portfolio for UID or any course, just send me, and I always tell copy work. So give a original. So then they fell flat that how we will do it.
Yeah, that's why it's important to, like he was saying, the methods of organizing original work and giving it credence, to make cerebral production of art more important is what should be part of any institute. And I think we at UID, we are actually hoping to break the ice and, bring that forward. There is an essence of, or an understanding among the young that it is cerebral stuff that actually works. You can pick up stuff from artificial intelligence, you can cook up stuff using 3D generated images, you have the models available, you can download and create your own stuff. While using all these tools, the students by themselves will understand that this is not it. You have to go back to methods of thinking.
If you make your own clay modeling and then do the 3D, that is
precisely.
much, because you're making your own. And it gives you a satisfaction also, because you're doing your own original work. And you're making your own cartoon characters or something, that is very satisfying. Okay, so sir, just now I want to ask you about because it is now 2 years old, what are you doing about the placement and internship of your students who are, because the next question is the most important question from the parents. What is placement in UID? How is the placement? And what are you doing about that?
Teachers were just getting the students oriented towards, leading the industry, showing a leadership in the industry. But we are also in touch with the industry demands and stuff. And animation, the students are just new. So we are hoping that, internship would lead them into opportunities in the future. Essentially, what we are also trying to do is making them understand a compelling portfolio. Like what you said, it should not look as though it has been borrowed from other places. So that is something that we need to really push hard. But I think placements and things are on its own way. It's very positive.
So are you teaching the older methods also, like cell animations and,
We,
and the in-betweens, how to do in-betweens,
we
the
begin
voice?
there. We begin there, and that's how we should begin.
Yeah,
Actually,
that is important.
yeah.
Because I have seen my father doing it,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I know that. You know.
Yeah.
And then you going to the 2D and 3D animation.
Yes, and also there is a understanding of cinema that has to go
Yeah,
into
that
this.
is
Right?
very important.
So it's the language of cinema, the
Yeah.
communication, the writing for animation.
yes.
Nobody writes for animation in the country, so
Yeah.
you have to get really, young people interested
Yeah.
in writing
Yeah.
for animation.
Yeah, when I teach animation, I tell students to do creative writing, which is very important. For even for entrance exam, creative writing is very very important.
Very important.
Because when you're writing, because they are also like for NID exam specifically, they give the question and it is always to write. So there only you know that the creative writing is important. So those who can write, they can and make characters. They are I think the best thing to do for animation.
Yeah.
So animation, I feel animation is like a package where a student should know how to draw, how to write, how to tell stories, create everything. So because my father and he is a writer, he could make models and could make the clay modeling. So everything, like whatever design is needed, animation, even to do advertisement, because nowadays advertisement, I think most of the advertisement animation is required.
Yes.
Plus, if you go for game design, everything is required. Even fine art is required to do the background. So everything is important. So thank you, sir, with this note. And students, you know that if you want to become an animator, you should know everything. And especially, I always tell you to use your brain, because to not going for the Google Baba, or go for your brain. And one thing is, always remember, the brain is one thing which will never become end. It as you use it, it will become more efficient, and this is the only thing that will never khatam nahi hoga, बढ़ जाएगा. So I will tell student and sir, both of you, thank you very much for all the information about UID NCR animation. And so I think this is very important for the students who want to go for animation and game design. So like and share, and those who are coming first time in this channel, do subscribe us. So we will meet you with lots of more videos. Bye for today.